Tell us about yourself.
My name is Grace. I'm a freshman. Um, identify as pansexual, and I'm gender neutral, but most of the times I go by she, her pronouns.
I'm Hoodie. I'm 15. Um, I'm not out to everyone, but
I'm Alex. I am 15 years old, turning 16 kind of soon. I'm in 10th grade. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. What is gender? I don't know. I guess I'm a non-binary person because I don't like the label thing. Sexuality, same thing. Don't really like to label it. Queer's a cool word. Let's go with that.
My name is Kara. I'm 16. Ness is my girlfriend, and I was born and raised in Michigan.
My name is Gabby Uran. I'm a senior here.
What stereotypes do you hear that you feel connected to or feel are directed at you?
Sometimes I feel targeted when I'm called a dyke because of my short hair or how I dress sometimes. Sometimes people just assume that I'm attracted to them because I have short hair, which is like cool, but maybe you're not my type.
usually people just like come at me for my hair because it's shorter than most people, or things that are usually associated with. So they usually think like either like I'm gay or like just I'm trans. That's what it's immediately like assessed to, when that's usually, I mean, like for someone else it's not the case at all. It could just be like, oh, I like my hair short like this, so I'm gonna cut it like this. It's not like immediately, oh yes, you're gay.
I feel like stereotypes are all around us. They affect everybody, no matter who you are. Just anything that is a gender stereotype is annoying because they shouldn't exist. People should just be able to do whatever they want, as in boys should be able to wear makeup and dresses, and girls should be able to not do that and to have body hair without being shamed for that. And also, people who don't subscribe to either label can do whatever they want. And now we have this annoying thing where there's literally like a non-binary stereotype where you're like really skinny and white and pale and you have colorful hair and like glitter all over you, whatever, and you're just like super androgynous. And I mean, that's like a cool aesthetic, but like also not every non-binary person looks like that, so that's kind of annoying. Also, I want people to stop assuming that everybody is straight and that everybody chooses, first of all, that doesn't happen, their sexuality, and then they have to stick with that for the rest of their life. Like, it's not true, buddy.
A lot of people assume that lesbians are supposed to be like more masculine kind of people, and I don't really understand that. I don't think that really pertains to most of anyone.
I personally feel connected to the one about cheerleading and how it's not considered a sport, and so we are often considered not athletic, and oftentimes we're considered not very intelligent. And I find that very untrue and kind of an unfair stereotype to give to somebody.
How do they make you feel?
Annoyed.
I mean, they definitely make me feel awkward because I never know how to respond, especially when someone who I'm not out to asks me a question like that. Like about my gender identity, I really like clam up about. Like, if they ask me if I'm gay or something, I'm just like, heck yeah, like, whew. But when I'm really like, I'm not like gay, I'm pan, I like everyone.
That just makes me feel really boxed and like caged. And I mean, I don't really care because I kind of do whatever I want expression-wise, even if I know people are judging me. But it's still kind of always in the back of my head that, you know, I'm being judged or like it's not okay. And then I don't really worry about the repercussions that might have. But I mean, some people are crazy and sometimes people get violent. So it also just makes me afraid.
Kind of confused. They sound just kind of dumb to me. I don't know. They make me a little bit uncomfortable, and they bring on some kind of like odd questions.
I think it's honestly kind of embarrassing because being a cheerleader already gives off kind of a promiscuous stereotype as well. So it's a little embarrassing, and plus it's just rude and not very correct. So
How does that make you feel in your environments like school and at home, and how do they affect your relationships with people?
At home, I'm not really out to everybody like my stepdad or my actual dad, so sometimes it's a little complicated. But I can't really express who I am really anywhere, because at school sometimes there are people who I feel that if I tell them that I'm attracted to someone of the same sex, they will feel that I'm too different for them, and I feel that I could be in danger in some situations.
At school, I definitely feel kind of trapped because half the people I know call me Hoodie, but other people call me my birth name because I'm not out to them. Definitely a struggle for me, especially still since I'm still finding out who I am, because even though I'm out to people as Hoodie, I'm still like, names are hard. they're really hard to figure out, because that's something that someone's gonna call you forever. So I always feel really trapped when I'm either making new friends, because I have to decide if I should tell them my name's Hoodie or if I should just go with my birth name.
When I kind of branched out and like started doing my own thing with my expressions, some people that I knew when I was younger didn't really want to talk to me anymore, which is fine because I don't need them in my life anyway. I don't need that kind of negativity. But I mean, it kind of hurt for a little bit, but now I just surround myself with better people, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, I guess at school I worry about it sometimes, but my school is pretty like chill about everything, so it's not that big of a problem. I definitely have it a lot better than a lot of people, and I know like I'm leaving out some stereotypes that affect me as well, but in the end, I have the kind of personality where I can really ignore stuff like that, but most people, like even out of the people I know, don't have that kind of privilege. And I talk about this a lot, how like certain personalities definitely carry privilege, like outgoing people and people who don't have anxiety. Like it's just a lot easier for us. I don't know, and like I kind of like feel guilty, but then also I guess since I am more of an outgoing person, I just try to use that voice to highlight others and try to just use that voice to say good things.
It made me feel like a little bit like nervous to talk about my relationship with my girlfriend, or like just to talk about my relationship as if it's a normal relationship. It just kind of seems a little bit odd sometimes because of like the generalizations some people can make.
In what way do you feel people can combat these stereotypes and be supportive of others in their community?
Really just have an open mind. A lot of people just hear the word gay and assume that it's a negative thing, when really it's not.
I don't know, because there are a lot of people that are still closed-minded, and I feel like something you have to do is just realize that people are people, and how they identify as or who they are in love with doesn't affect you in any way. It's just how they are and how they show who they are.
If you are cis and straight, then please just read about LGBT people and listen to us and kind of go out of your way to read and watch and listen to things that are inclusive, and support those kinds of things. That's nice. And yeah, just people need to be educated, and I know this is very LGBT centered, but this goes for everybody who is like not a person of color. You should do the same thing, educating yourself about like racial issues and stuff like that, because we should all just be educated about each other. It's really, there's no reason not to be. I don't want to be the person that's like always calling people out for being problematic, but like if somebody calls you out, don't like get super defensive. Like just listen to what they're saying. Like even if you think it's stupid and you don't think that it's hurtful, I mean somebody else did, so you should at least like try to listen to them and recognize why that could be hurtful to them and others. Yeah, just if people could be more empathetic, that'd be cool.
By learning to be more accepting of other people, and like the way that they feel about others may not be the same way that you feel about others.
I think that people should just have maybe a more open mind and not be so single track minded, and maybe open up to new ideas and meet new people that have different ideas and try to relate to them.